Hello and welcome back to Rollercoaster Tycoon, and this time the title screen. It has been quite a while since we've last seen that, though actually I must admit that the Goodnight Park Castle thing that we just finished didn't really take that long. At least to me it didn't felt really that long, but oh well, you know, I guess you can do a count on the videos and their length and say like, no, it was actually pretty long, but hey, it is finished, and I must admit that it was easier than I expected. You know, the Goodnight Castle Park, which, well, you know, is only a plus, I guess. I am really skilled. No, that can't be true, right? Anyway, yeah, so we finished that park. You know, looked really good in the end as well. I think keeping the castle intact was definitely like the right choice, at least for the looks of the park. So yeah, you know, I'm liking that. I think it's time for the next park though. Look, there it is! It is the park we just played. We know what we can make of that. We can do better. So yeah, let's check out what the next park will be, shall we? We go to the Loopy landscapes and we see that our park value isn't great, but it isn't as poor as some of the parks. It's on the lower ends though, but well. We're gonna have to play Wacky Warren. So let's see what this is all about, shall we? We'll pause it first of all. Wacky Warren, a park which has much of its footpaths and coasters underground. Our goal is to achieve a monthly income from ride tickets of at least 9,000. That's it! That basically means that there is no failing condition in this park. There just is none. We start out with at least 2 coasters. Oh wow! And it's rather big as well. We can... Ooh, and that's even better. There is no grass in this park. I mean, well, you know, you could say like this is patches of grass, but it doesn't grow weeds, so it will always look awesome, you know, and oh, wow, nice, alright. So, as the description said, it is a park with lots of its path underground. This way we can see what is underground, which are the lighted up sections, and that is indeed quite a lot, but the infrastructure isn't as such that we need to close off sections because it's just laid out poorly. No, that is not the case. So this ain't too bad. Let's put the view back to normal for now. Let's zoom out a little bit so that we have like a good idea of how big this park really is. Can we buy land space? We cannot. We have all the construction rights, so that's off the table. Of course, we can't charge for an entrance fee, which by now I think we don't even have to check anymore because that's standard procedure, really. But yeah, there is no goal in this park. That means that we can just up our pricings to as sharp as we want, get the money, and do not worry about guest count. That's good, honestly. I mean, that's really good. We do have an information kiosk. Let's check out these rides that we have in the park. Really cheap and quick steel mini roller coaster. I don't think that this has cost more than like 3,000, maybe 4,000. So in that regard, you know, this is okay. Could have built this myself, actually. Looking at the design, it's like, you know, this could be something that I'd be doing. I like this one though, you know, going below the station and then looping back to it. Take, you know, a few more of these excitement ratings from the path, because path does add excitement rating. But all in all, I think it looks rather good, you know, just go around here, do a few twists. Nice and quick coaster. That's gonna rack up a lot of money. The time, yeah, look at that, 51 seconds. Most of that is because of the lift, probably. Then we have this. This looks like... Wait, so it... Where? Hold on. It starts... Hold on a second. I mean, this one's alright. Oh wait, no, I thought that it would go over here, but it doesn't. It actually goes up over here. How does this one even work? Does it even work? I mean, it goes over here. Then up to height 12? Am I seeing this right? Or does it actually start like over here? Yeah, the light's over here, so it starts off over here, then gets all the way up to here, drop, then it goes up here with a lift. This is bad. If it breaks down and the car stalls like right over here, then another car could, you know, a few more could pile up. And then once it's repaired again, it could actually have a car stalled over here, and that could lead to pileups. This is badly designed. Other than that, though, the track looks alright. Let me see what the ratings are. Not bad. I mean, that's like, you know, it's above average, definitely. It's good. It's not grand, which wouldn't be that hard to achieve with this coaster. But it's definitely good, you know, it's 7.5, it's nothing to sneeze at, albeit badly designed. So, because of that, well, you know what, let's fiddle with the settings too. Yeah, no, no. $7, 10 minutes, that is what we want. I also want a fix mechanic over here just to prevent any pileups. Should be an easy one. There we go. Same over here basically. I want a fix mechanic to prevent any station brake failures. As the fact remains that if we get those, it would be fatal. I do hope that you are trapped over here. Seems like you are. Perfect. Right. No, I wanted to close it. Right, okay, so that is that at least taken care of. Of course, well, I say taken care of. We can't have this be called Rollercoaster 2. That is just not an option. We're not gonna go with the Game of Thrones theming for the names on this one, so we'll just do, you know, stuff that I like, things that I come up with, crazy things. So why don't we call this how about the pile driver? Because definitely, I'm pretty sure that, you know, during the course of this park, we shall see this one at least once actually pile up. Just saying. Over here, we'll set this to 10 minutes too, and why don't we call this, yeah, we're gonna call this the Bumblebee. Because it's nice, cheap, and small, you know? It has the Bumblebee, looks about it. Okay, very good. I think next move on our part should be to get all the facilities out there. And why don't we start out with... Oh, we actually have theming. Nice. And we have jumping fountains. That's also pretty good. So we'll just place a few of these everywhere, you know, for the tired guests. There. Definitely want a few more around that area, because that is the coaster's exit. Though I don't think that the Bumblebee will actually need that many... Oh, wait. That way we can see below the water too. Yay! No, I don't think the Bumblebee actually needs the handy dudes that badly. This one will need it a lot more. So... yeah, there we go. Looking good. Let's get them trash cans out there. Like that. Perfect. We will need a few on the flat spaces. That's alright. Just like so. A few one over there. You know, I mean, who knows? We don't know, geographically speaking, where this park is situated. Could be that, you know, for all we know, this park is like a 10-hour drive away from the nearest village. And the guests, you know, they pack stuff. I mean, the parking space must be off the map as well. So it could be that the guests pack stuff, you know, for the voyage and then come here with litter in their hands. You want to have your trash cans right at the entrance, right? So, that being done, I guess staffing is like the next thing we should do. So, staffing. I guess we'll have to go for to the underground view over here. And actually, our very first handyman, we will not assign him any area. He will be our pickup handyman that we will give tasks whenever we spot a vomit in places where it should not be. That should be a good area for the very first one. One downside to having all this path already laid out is that we need a lot of staff to just cover the initial stretch of path. And you, handyman number 4. I mean, the downside, you know, well, it's not all bad. There is also an upside to this. The downside, however, is that we're going to have to spend a lot on our handy dudes' wages. So that's definitely a downside. However, the upside is we can house a freaking crazy amount of guests in the park. So it's not all bad, but definitely something that we need to keep in mind. Now, we do have one loose walking mechanic, so I guess in that regard we're alright. We also have the information kiosk. How about we actually camo color all the umbrellas here? The thing is, though, we don't want to charge crazy amounts for the umbrellas, as we're gonna charge crazy amounts for our rides. And, of course, you know, realistically speaking, the way to, you know, gain the ride ticket, profit fee stuff that we need is, of course, coasters. So, we don't really need to rely on umbrellas. In fact, why don't we do a quick check on, like, how wealthy our guests are? Wealthy. I don't need to check any further. That was a very rich guest, so yeah, they will probably be around 90 or below, which I consider to be rich. So with that checked, why don't we take a gander at what we have available? We might even do one of these rides, you know, around the park, if we just zoom out. You know, we could do one on the exterior. We have the space to actually set something up for that, you know. We could definitely do something like that. It would be a big investment, though. It would also mean that we'd have to expand our path up through here. We don't need to make a full loop around, though. What we could do is just have, like, branches. But we know that that won't work, so a full loop is probably better, you know. Have, like, a square where this is somewhere at the center, you know. Branch off. Have loops. Loops is always better. Otherwise, we're gonna have pathfinding issues. No, right, not the best, not the worst. I guess we could conceive this going on the water. Yeah, that's definitely a thing. We could do that and then perhaps have a boat ride inside. How cool would that be? Definitely something to keep in mind. Then, the coasters. Okay, this one we're not going to build. We have this one, we have this one. So technically, you know, we only have one coaster. That's a poor hand we're dealt here, really. I would love to have had a few more coasters. Nothing! What? Nothing! I don't think it can, well, it can't get any worse than this, but wow, I don't think we've had this ever to start out with. And then just the boat hire. Wow, and we're all, oh, wow. I did not expect this little in terms of rides. Eggheads, please, research me rides. I want thrill rides, how about that? I don't want scenery. I guess for now this is what we want. It doesn't really matter what we get for, well, we don't want gentle rides because we have those. So I want shops and stalls and I want thrill rides. Why do I want shops and stalls, you might wonder? Because we have like, well, actually I also don't want those. Now I was thinking that this is very poor. We definitely want more if this park is going to be a success. But we don't need them right now. You know, these two will do for the start. And besides, I mean, we have burgers. What else could we possibly want, right? Alright, that's not true. I know what else we could want. So, that's the eggheads sorted. I'm also curious to see how this is handled. pretty much standard affair. I think like the last 4 or 5 parks have been like that, so... Alright. Not much going on there. So, now that we have this sorted, because there's a lot of path underground, I think, you know, when we expand pathwise, we should definitely try and break that tradition. For now, though, we're gonna stick with what we have, and we're first gonna place some shops and stalls. So, we shall place this over here. There. And actually, we're not going to charge anything for the toilet, because we want the money of the guests to be spent on rides. Also, I guess it's not a bad thing to have another toilet over here, seeing how we can't build these in the ground. I don't really get what the challenge is in this park, other than achieving the 9,000 in ride profit. I mean, that in and of itself is a challenge, but usually there's like a theme to a park, you know? Well, I guess it's underground paths, but if that is really like what the devs thought that would make this park challenging, I mean, they got the wrong tycoon in front of them. This, to me, poses absolutely no challenge whatsoever. We will get this burger bar there. And you know what? No, I was about to go and pair them up. I think that's a bad plan, though. We shall place you over there. You know what I also noticed is they made the entrances actually really nice. They actually terraformed some of the terrain to make it look better. I think that's a nice touch. We will still... Oops, ruin some of the terrain just to place our stuff here, but there. And then of course a drink stall. With this little path actually being available, I guess we're kind of forced to group up, you know, most of our shops and stalls. I don't mind it that much, but... Oh, there's a tree in the way. Not anymore so. Alright, so that's our shops and stalls taken care of. Well, I don't think there's that much more that we need to do other than just build a few rides. And thinking about this, we probably get the water ski, right? I'm kind of gonna bank on us actually getting that. So what we will do is we'll do an easy right over here, and I have just the one in mind for that. Custom design. Definitely. I want the exit to be over there. And then we'll just go... Oh, wait. No, they should be able to go below that. So, entrance there. And then this should be done like this. Right. Now, seeing how most of the stuff is underground here, that is what we will be doing as well. I guess in a way we could actually stick with like the style the devs went for on most of these entrances. Like this. Oh, there's actually a tree there. Didn't saw you hiding behind the entrance. Over here, I guess it's more of... What tree is in the way here? Oh, it's you. Right, fine, you'll be gone. I guess over here it's just more like doing it like this, you know. And yeah, let's hook this up. Also, it seems that the devs have chosen for this style, which we shall continue. And there we go. Right, we are... Oh, now that's easy. It doesn't hook us up though, but that's definitely not bad. Kind of like it, you know. We're gonna, I guess, stick with it. We'll go over here. Not, well, I would love to, but the terrain says no. I guess in that, you know, if that's gonna be the way of it, we'll actually expand this hill a little bit. There. I mean, I'm doing a lot of terraforming, which I didn't really intend it to, but... And then I should be able to... No? fine. That's alright, that's alright. That definitely does it. We'll go with mine theming for the signs. Just because we used the regular ones in the previous park, you know, I like to vary it a little. There. And then get a handy dude out there. Even more wages to pay for us. It's fine though. We'll manage. And there we go. So, we can of course choose here. And we're gonna go with bumper boats. I think that's actually pretty cool. Though, on the other hand, why don't we go with like swans? Nah, we shouldn't. There. Open it up. So, we shall call this... yeah. Oh! That was not the intention there. I thought I dropped you there, but clearly... Well, or maybe you teleported up. I mean, the handy dudes are known to do that. They are super handy dudes. You might not see it because they're small and pixelated, but they actually have this big H on their tenue. Right, how are we gonna call this? We could call this the tire insurance, you know, bumping and making damage to properties, me and property. On the other hand, we could also just call this the rough pond. There. Yeah, that's not bad. We will give this a respray though. I mean, I didn't do it over here because, well, it's the original rides. I don't want to touch them, you know, too much. I like keeping the original stuff in the park, you know, the ones that were handed from the start. But yeah, red fences. No red fences. Definitely not. Oh, those are the boats. I'm sorry. White fences, and that's the one. I don't think we see anything from that, but maybe black tires and a yellow inside. Yeah, that looks alright. So I guess that's that sorted then. For the rest, I mean that's our only water ride, you know, our only sort of thrill ride that we currently have. You know what we're also definitely lacking in this park? Music. And we are going to change that right now. I see kind of where the challenge comes in this park with it being on the ground is that, you know, most of these slam down rides aren't really easy to hook up because of it. But that's only, you know, because you look at the terrain and you're thinking like, wow, I want to build stuff here, but this is more for like coaster stuff and when we actually expand our path. Which, by the way, I think our next coaster should definitely be around this area. Just saying, just putting out the obvious there. Also, if we're going to expand over there in that direction, I might actually want to put this over here more. So it's on the inside of these path loops. So that way we have like, you know, just free clearance to go over here. Alright. I guess over here is a nice spot, so... Maybe just one bit further out on the land, so we can build the entrance and... No, actually not. Actually not, because what we will do is this, and then this... which should allow us to do this, and then it starts raining, and now I do miss my awesome umbrella prices. Really do miss them already. And then I guess we should just raise this rather than, yeah, we'll have it be like this. Come on, there. That's the way of it, you know, that's fitting. I like the way that these entrance paths are done, so we'll stick with it. Now, as for this ride's entrance path, it's going to be an easy one. Almost wished that was possible. There, that should do it. And we are gonna shoot for as many repeat guests as possible. So we'll just hug this and have that come out right at the same spot. There. It's all in the underground, so That's good. I also like it that because this is underground, well, I don't know if that's the reason why the devs did it, but I really like that the devs did not go with the ever so annoying black tarmac. Imagine if this was all black tarmac. I mean, you wouldn't see a damn thing over here. Luckily they didn't, but... Right. $5 is what we will charge over here. There we go. Tune and this to 10 minutes. Tune this to the max, 25. And ta-da! Music! Ta-da! Ta-da! Alright, good, good, good. Do we go for a respray on this? I guess so. We can't have this. We'll go with a traditional color on this. Probably some brown, but that looks like green. I guess the white looks the best. I mean, how does golden look? Golden looks the best. Definitely golden. Then a name for this. Ooh, how about the wheel spin? I mean, after all, it is sort of a wheel spin. Oh, I like that. Also, maybe we should go with the log cabin style on that one. I don't know, that seems fitting. I mean, I didn't want that on this ride, but over here it seems kind of fitting, so... Now, what we also want is a handy dude who is responsible for keeping clean the actual area around the exit. There. That will be your duty. By the way, you won't have that square. You'll already have enough over here. Good. So far, we're developing this park rather rapidly. And look at this coaster being popular. Has it stalled already, though? Oh, it hasn't. It will, though. I mean, this park is still young. What? We got the water coaster. What else is it developing? A thrill ride. So, basically, we're still left with nothing over there. The water coaster is good. We could actually build this first. It's not that expensive. It's definitely... Ooh. Interesting. If we do that, though, I would love that for that ride to be over here on this watery section. Definitely, yeah. We shall put the station like underground. I think it would actually be in our best interest if we use this space just so that future coasters will be built around it. Look at it go, man. Nice coaster, that one, you know. Easy, smooth, really nice startup coaster. Perfect for the guests. Anyway, I think that we're doing quite well so far. I mean, the guest count is rising like crazy. We got 300 guests in the park already. And what did we do? We added music and we have burgers. Oh, and you can bump around in the pond. That's all. I mean, there isn't more you can do over here. But I do think that, well, we have money and we have space. I think that this would be the perfect opportunity to build ourselves our very first coaster. Not, well, technically not, but the first one we build ourselves, of course. But that and more is all gonna be for next time when we play more Rollercoaster Tycoon.